watching Prime Morning Wednesday, the big interview. I'm here with the one and only Dadaboat. You're petty because but when we hear the name Dadaboat, see also. Hello, Vicky. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're looking too cool for this morning.
Oh, thank you so much. And you look so young, you know.
Wow.
Knowing that you are over 50 years.
Yeah, I am.
Wow. What's your secret?
Grace of God.
Because you've never aged. I'm looking at you on the TV. I'm looking at you right now. You're like the same person. Nothing has changed.
Of God and keeping ourselves well.
Right.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes.
And
that's how we survive.
We do admire you. Some of us grew up watching you on TV, you know, and we've been wondering how you even got into TV in the first place. How did it all happen?
Well, I had some work to do with Voice of Legon, that's the school.
Okay.
And then I got the opportunity to work on GAR at the time. I was doing the variety entertainment show. I was the host. And I'm talking about 1995.
Ooh.
Yes. So I hosted the variety show then. Then I also had a theater group at the time. So we got our way into GBC to work on TV theater. So that's how I got on TV. So my first work was on TV theater.
Okay.
Yes, I worked on TV theater for a while, and then I did Inspector Bidiakun and all of that.
Right.
So it's been over 30 odd years since I first appeared on national television.
Wow.
Yeah.
How have you been able to manage it so far? Because, you know, some people come in, they fade off, we don't get to see them again. Others have financial constraints, but you are doing so well. So how have you balanced? How did it work for you?
Yeah, I always ascribe everything to the grace of God, because in my prayers, all I ask for is wisdom. And then also hard work, because I don't get stuck at where I am at any time. I try to work and improve myself. I try to educate myself in the field of endeavor. So all of that come into play, and that's how we move. Yeah.
As a young boy, did you know that you come into the media space one day? Was it a dream?
Yeah, it was. Actually, I wanted to be an actor because I admired actors as David Dontos, Kofi Middleton, Mens, Beriverson Jr. These were people that I admired so much when I was growing up. So I wanted to be like one of those. I didn't actually look at becoming a celebrity. I was looking at being able to be a good actor. So I started work on stage. I did a lot of stage performances with my theater group. So it was all part of the building up. Yeah.
And will you say that that's what shaped you to make you a unique actor at your time?
Yeah, I think that I learned the craft from the grassroots. So, you know, I picked a lot of things up. I think I'm still not as better as I would want to be as an actor, but
you think so?
Yeah, I keep striving.
Really?
Yeah, because I see quality actors that I feel that I still have to do some work to get to that level. So, yeah. So I would want to be a great actor one day. I'm not an Eddie Murphy yet.
But you have yourself.
Yes.
And that's what we love. So now, tell us a bit about, you know, your background. What schools did you attend and all? I
went to Accra Newtown. I went a Saito school, you know. Accra Newtown for Saito student. I went to Kimbu Experimental GHS. Went to Adontin Secondary School. Came all through to Aquinas, and then did College of Education. So I trained as a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, you're a professional
I'm a professional teacher.
But did you ever teach?
Yeah, I did. I did for a while.
Okay.
But acting and performance took me away from
Was it that the teaching too, the money wasn't that good?
I think I got discouraged by where I was posted to. Because I was so far off, I couldn't do anything else. So,
what were you posted to?
A town called Enchi in the western region.
Ah.
Yeah. Actually, initially, I was posted to a place called Moto, so I never got to see.
Okay.
But the name stuck on my mind. You know, I got fortunate and they brought me a bit inner. Botoso is just about a stone throw away from the Ivorian border. So I got to Enchi and worked there for a while. I decided to come back home to pursue my career
Was
as
it
an
that the
actor.
development there wasn't that much for you, or what was it?
Yeah, like I'm saying, I was so much. I remember when I got back into Accra, my mom was, "What is the reason?" I said, "I want to act."
Okay.
I said, "Are you going to be paid for acting?" I said, "Probably not now, but eventually it will pay off." I said, "How about the teaching?" I said, I'll teach through acting."
Okay.
So
Okay.
I remember that very well, that conversation between myself and my mom. So she eventually agreed. So I took to performance, and even forming a group, I did so because I had a small school myself that I was teaching, and most of the teachers that I got in to help were those that I formed the foundation of the theater group, Royal Theater Performers. And we did a lot of performances around.
Okay. When you started acting, was it paying as
It-
compared to the teaching?
it's still not paying.
It's still not paying?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Except that sometimes you have the opportunity to become a brand ambassador of a brand or something. That's where, but the craft itself, I don't think Ghanaians appreciate that to the level where it pays off, because most of our colleagues die as paupers, and that's so clear for people to see. You know, so I think that
Is it that Ghanaians are not appreciated? Because some of us, we appreciate, but
Yeah.
is it the industry that's not well funded, or Ghanaians that are not appreciated?
Well, I'm not talking about Ghanaians as in the citizenry, but I'm talking about policymakers.
Right.
Because they don't build around it. I am of the opinion that if performances, I mean, music and arts are improved, you even cut out our health budget. I mean, you cut it into halves. So why don't you use that money to facilitate and improve the industry in that direction? Because we don't have any proper film policy, you understand? And you go around and you see TV stations showing foreign soap operas whilst we don't even pay attention to our own productions here. And that is employment that we are cutting away, because we are giving employment to foreign producers and foreign actors without looking at our own. So how do we get paid? There are no opportunities. Now, when you even make films, where do you show them? There are no cinemas. So it's depleting every time. I mean, it's getting worse every time.
So for you, when you started your career, you were not receiving money at all?
We were.
But
But I remember shows like Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Sometimes I calculate how much I was paid for an episode, and that money couldn't have bought me one shoe. Yes, for an episode.
how much was it like at that time? How much were you taking?
How much I was paid per episode at that time now can buy me wachi,
So it's like 25 to Ghana cedi.
because now about 300 Ghana at the time.
Right.
Yeah, so 3 million or so it's about, about 30
30 cedis.
30 cities now. And this we are talking 1995. So it was a bit, more valuable than now. But then again, it couldn't buy me a shoe
At that time.
at that
yeah.
time. So you could go a whole season and there was nothing to write home about.
So how were you surviving?
The interest and the love for the arts.
But you're a man, you had family. So
Yeah.
how were you taking care of your family?
Yeah, I had different things to do. Like I said, I was teaching on the side.
Okay.
Okay, and for me, around acting, I've done a lot. I've schooled myself in filmmaking, so I did a lot of production work. I do camera, I do editing, I do everything on the film set. So these other jobs have kept me going, but acting alone, for me, is not as interesting as we think. And of course, by the grace of God, I've had opportunities to be. I've been a brand ambassador for MTN for the past 13 years. Cap Farm, The Luckiest, Burger App, Alliance Live.
That's where you make your money from.
That is where I get some
really
small.
But you went into politics at a point in time. You became the assemblyman
for Accra Newtown.
For Accra Newtown.
Yes, I was born around this hood.
Okay.
Yes, around Malata Market.
Right. Which political party was it?
No, I didn't.
You went as independent.
Though the assembly elections, I know that most of the political parties are affiliated, and most of the contestants are affiliated to political parties. I didn't do that. I went as an independent candidate.
All right.
On the direction of God. I mean, I didn't even think about it with anybody. I took the decision on the inspiration from God, and I contested. Everybody thought that I couldn't win, but I won.
And you did one term. Why one term?
Because immediately after, even before the term ended, I had opportunity to go outside to school.
Oh, okay.
I went to New York Film Academy to study film production. So before the term ended, I had to go. And I thought that it was better for me to educate myself and come back a better person than just remaining in politics and all of that. So
Would
that
you
was
ever want to go back
probably yes.
or go to Parliament?
Yes, because I feel there are so many things that our parliamentarians have not looked at. I feel that governance in this country has not been so creative. You know, they only take taxes and borrow money. But I feel there are opportunities that can bring the country money and also sustain the citizenry through creativity and business-oriented governance.
You know, currently we have about 13 persons on the ballot paper. We have the NDC, we have the NPP, and others. I'm saying others because I can't mention all of them.
Yeah.
I mentioned these two because they are the two main political parties. Whether we like it or not, the competition is amongst the two.
Yeah.
Which of these two do you think can fix Ghana's problems?
That's very difficult to tell because we've seen all these two before, and the problems are still not fixed. So I don't know probably if they're going to do that in the near future. And I don't know which of them is ready to do that in the near future. Because we've seen them and all the problems are not fixed. But I pray that they pull out policies that can fix some of these
We've
things.
heard their policies. Which one is best? Which one do you think can do the policy, implement the policy and get it work?
I've not heard I've not heard any new thing.
Okay.
I've heard about sustenance of the free SHS, 24-hour economy. These are the things that I've heard about. I'm yet to hear how the creative industry can be used to propel the advancement of the economy. That one I've not heard a lot from any of them. So I'll keep my cards until I find out that. And you know, I don't even believe in their manifestos anymore.
Both political parties?
Yes, any manifesto at all, because it doesn't come with any punishment if they are not able to achieve what they wrote in it. So they just write it for us to read and nothing happens. So I don't believe in manifestos. I want to see what they can do.
Okay.
You know, so far I've not seen anything they can do yet. So we pray that God gives us the opportunity for a better party that intends to implement their manifestos to come to power.
Okay. So what's your relationship like with Abuaji now? You guys had a beautiful bond, you know, during the taxi driver time.
We still do.
You still do?
Yeah, about a week ago, he called me from Kumasi and they said, Wafa, I'm at this place. I said, hey, did you go there without my permission? So we still do. He still calls me Wafa. I still call him Wafasi. And we think about some of the ideas together. And there are a lot of things that we have planned to do in the near future.
That's great.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So right now, I don't know if I've been given more time to be able to ask. Fantastic. Okay. So now I want to ask how your transition from Master Richard to Dadaboat happened, because we all loved you know, Master Richard. And we never thought you could transition where we'll end up loving Dadaboat. How did you do it?
Yes, I think basically they are of the same source, Dadaboat and Master Richard. You know, the Boga character, Oteko Nana, and Oteko Nana is the legitimate grandson of the Goodies too.
Right.
So, but I tossed it over. Master Richard is a returnee. Someone who's been there, seen all about it, bought his taxi and running his business. And Dadaboat is someone who wants to be there, but wants to live like somebody who's been there.
Okay.
So that's basically the difference. Dadaboat has never been there, but he pretends and wants everybody to believe that he's been there. So that was the difference.
But you know, it's very difficult for people to be able to love a certain character and then end up loving another character played by the same person.
Yeah.
And you did it. You did it so effortlessly.
Yeah, it's the wisdom of God.
Right. How did you get the role Dadaboat?
Dadaboat is my own production.
So your production?
Media Gold Multimedia.
Right.
But Master Richard came off Taxi Driver by Village Productions. And the opportunity was given to me by Emmanuel Appiah. He's also produced a few good products around. Right. He started directing Taxi Driver. And he saw me playing actually a very different role. I was playing an Ifo in a stage play, you know, where he speaks like, my brother, assist this is the reason why I am talking to a very beautiful woman on the Joy Prime this morning. So he saw me play that role,
right.
And he asked who the character was. So somebody directed him to meet me, and he didn't believe that I was playing that role.
Thought you were Ever.
Yeah, he thought I was. So when he knew that I wasn't an Ever, he was like, wow, then he could do anything. So let's give him an opportunity to play. Actually, Master Richard's character was written for just one episode of the series.
Okay.
So just to introduce the owner of the taxi, because the Taxi Driver series. So they wanted just to introduce the owner of the taxi and then move on to concentrate on the driver.
Yeah.
But after the first episode, they kept me in. They kept writing more scripts to keep me in. So that's how. And so I attribute it to the ingenuity of Emmanuel Appiah, because as a creative person, he saw the potential and gave me the opportunity. Yeah.
And you've been phenomenal, we must say.
Thank you.
Over the years, I don't know how many people have managed to, you know, get to where you are.
Thank you.
Especially, you know, somebody like Samajete Fiume, may he still rest in peace. You know, being on set with a man like that and unfortunately getting to the end of his time on earth, you know, the things that he went through, the challenges he went through. But you, if you take a look back at that, what would you say are some of the mistakes that some veterans have made in the past that some people now are not making?
It won't be their mistakes. Some of us have been guided by that. So we live a life to protect ourselves from what they went through. And they went through no fault of theirs. They went through that because in our country, like I mentioned earlier, you can have 1 million following and not have 100 cedis in your account. That is the point, because the work doesn't pay. You know, I've had people who call me to MC a program. And I'm like,
just food.
The food, how is this food going to feed my family for the rest of the month or the rest of the year? People think that what we do is a hobby, but it's a full-time job if you want to do it well. You understand? And that is why we don't have very professional actors in this country, because most of them are doing other things and doing that as a part-time. So it doesn't even give their best. It doesn't give. They are not able to give their best to the industry because it doesn't really pay. So you could be known and you could be mentioned everywhere when you are not being paid. I remember one big broadcaster, James Amati. You know, we went to work and we asked for, I think at the time, 2,000 cedis to be paid as MC. And he said, wow, you guys, you're making money. At our time, we only got a bottle of beer for what you're doing. Yes. I told you somebody wanted to offer me food to MC a program. So, and, you know, you go on a film set and producers are not even able to pay. So it's a whole ball game that has to be rectified. We need a national policy around our industry, because if television stations are asked to produce local programs and given some time to produce local, they will employ actors. Actors will get money to survive. But it doesn't happen.
Mikio Sebeko, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story with us. You know, we could have spoken for like a whole day. You know that? But unfortunately, time will not permit us. So elections are just around the corner, 10 days to go. What message do you have?
Vote wisely. Yeah, think about the future and vote to reflect that. Yeah, I wish that we wouldn't even have the elections and we'll have our chiefs and queens, kings and queens to rule this country, because I think democracy as we are practicing now is not fair on Ghanaians or the Africans.
That's what Miki Osebeko has said. Thank you.